Hello, I'm Marissa, Eat This Not That social media director, and today we are going live with Toby Amidor, a valued member of our medical expert board here at Eat This Not That. Toby is an award-winning dietitian and Wall Street Journal best-selling cookbook author who believes healthy and wholesome can also be appetizing and delicious. She's the founder of Toby Amidor Nutrition, where she provides nutrition and food safety consulting services for individuals, restaurants, and food brands. And today, Toby will be joining us to answer questions that you all submitted here on Facebook about diets and weight loss. Thank you to everyone joining. Thank you, Toby, for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we are about to start a Q&A all about diets and weight loss. Toby, please, is there anything you'd like to say to set the stage? Otherwise, I can jump right into our questions here.
Yeah, no, I think almost jumping into the questions, because there's a lot of fog and mud and, trying to wade through all the stuff you hear about. And really what I can say to anybody watching and listening is really look for the articles that have the registered dietitian there, because there's a lot of yuck information out there and you don't want to harm yourself or make it worse or make your habits worse or, anything for your health in terms of that. So it's not easy when you're trying to lose weight, but it's also a matter of being happy of who you are in yourself. So there's a couple of, there's a mental health issue, but then there's also the food issue as well. So, well, let's talk about the questions. I thought there were, some really thoughtful questions over there, and a lot of popular ones as well.
Yeah, definitely. We got some great questions. We'll hop in. The first one is, how can I break out of habitual stress eating?
So, I mean, when you look at factors, why we eat, one of the things is emotional eating, right? In a birthday party, we eat when we're happy. We eat maybe, when we're sad. And stress is certainly one of the times we eat. So sometimes there's a couple of techniques. You have to find what works for you. So there are a couple of techniques. First, if you feel like you're so stressed, one of the things I like to say is push pause, like take a step back. So that thing, push pause, I use it a lot in various ways for mental health also, like when you get really mad. And then just take a step back and kind of take sometimes meditation helps from there, and see if you're really craving the food. One way you can tell is you can give yourself a scale from 0 to 10. Are you really on that 8, 7, 8, 9? Like, are you really hungry? Has it really been 4 hours, 3 hours since you've eaten something, or is it time for just a little snack? So that's another technique. And then there's also, like, for me, when I get stressful, I love ice cream, but I don't keep it in the house. But instead, personally, I'll take a Yasso, and it has 100 calories depending on, and I take one, and like that does it for me. And then if I need something else, a hot cup of tea helps me. So I try to look for something that, maybe is soothing in whatever way I need, but it's just not that many calories. And then I kind of don't stock up on like a lot of cookies, cakes, and stuff like that. The stuff I really love, if I really want it, I'll go like to the ice cream shop and I'll get one and finished with it.
Right.
So those are just like, you really have to find what works for you, but those are just some techniques.
Perfect. I love that idea of thinking of it as a scale too, to kind of bring perspective into your decision making. Okay, next we have, when you overeat, how long does it take to show up on the scale?
Okay, so that's an interesting question. When you eat on Thanksgiving, remember, you're not going to see like 10 pounds heavier the next day or even 2 days later. It doesn't work that way. So your calories, let's say you need 2,000. That's the American average. We're just going to say that. So let's say you eat 2,000 calories. It's on average. So if you go 2,500 and the next day 1,600, there are normal fluctuations in your weight, and it's not advisable to weigh yourself every day. Really, it's not. Because first of all, it can lead to disordered eating and thinking in a negative way about your body, which we don't want. And also, we normally fluctuate water weight, You know, we take in a lot of times if you eat like, not that carbs are bad, but if you do overeat a lot of, let's say, pasta or rice, I mean, cups worth, I mean, yeah, you're going to retain it because it's cooked with water. It just, that's what it does. And it's okay to have them. It just, sometimes we have a cup, like 4 or 5 more portions than we should. And you might see a little water weight the next day or 2 days later, but don't fret. That will average out over time. Also remember, for females specifically with hormones, right? We have fluctuations through the month. I just flew yesterday, and I know if I weigh myself today, I'll be heavier because there is water weight gain when when you fly. So remember, there's so many factors. Do not just pigeonhole yourself on like, what's my weight today? I recommend, if you want to, first thing in the morning, like, this is me. This is what I do if I do it. If it's once a week, like, that's the max I'll do. Like, I won't do it every day, like once a week, once every 2 weeks. Morning, like, I do it with the same amount of clothes on or no clothes on, and after I take my first like pee in the morning. Like, that's what I do. So I have the same exact weight on the same scale every time I do it, and then that's it. You also can use your clothing if you don't want to scale. See if it's tight or not tight.
Okay.
And gauge if your bra fits you the same way, like for females, like you can gauge it that way as well.
Okay. How do I figure out how many calories I should eat in a day to be my healthiest?
Well, the average there, I mean, there are some formulas, and actually a lot of those websites that calculate for you, they do a good job because it's based on male versus female. It's based on activity level. So, and please don't think if you're going to the gym, you can eat like double your calories, like you're not burning. So that's just an added value you still have, but it will count for maybe 50, 100 more calories just to make sure you have the appropriate energy and you can work out the right way. And then male female energy, activity level, and then your height will go in there as well. So, and then if you are on the overweight side, I mean, because from a clinical perspective, I look at that. So anyone there and you want to lose weight, you don't go back to like 1,200 calories. You don't want to go like very low. That's not good for you either. So like the rule of thumb is we take off, a couple, you take off a couple hundred calories at a time. But you can figure it out through these apps. A lot of times they'll look at your current weight, and for weight loss, you don't want to go much. They're not going to give you like, go 1,000 calories. That's not an appropriate one. So if you're eating 3,000 calories now and you feel like that's too much, which usually that is too much, going to 2,500 is the next legit step for a while, not for long, not for just 2 days.
Helpful to know. I'm trying vegetarian. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm trying veganism for the first time. How can I make sure I'm getting the proper nutrients and vitamins?
That's a good question. So there's different types. You can do veganism where you cut out all animal food, and then you could do vegetarianism where you have all plants, but maybe you want to add some fish, or maybe you're adding some eggs, or maybe you're adding some eggs and dairy. You do you. And then there's of course flexitarian if you want to do a little piece of poultry, or a lean piece of beef or pork. I mean, there are many ways to do it, but a complete vegan cuts out all animal foods. But there are ways, as long as you're educated and have a wide variety of foods, that you certainly can get your nutrients. There are, though, higher risks for vegans to be for nutrient deficiencies like calcium. If you're not taking in dairy, you can take in fortified soy or tofu. That's another way. Or calcium fortified orange juice is another way. Iron is an issue, so you just want to make sure you have your beans, and a lot of iron coming from plants. You want to take them in with sources of vitamin C to increase absorption, because it's called non-heme iron, non-blood, or it's plant, like blood is animals. So heme iron are for animals, they're very easily absorbed. Non-heme iron from plants are not as easily absorbed and need the assistance of vitamin C. So enjoy like your beans with a little lemon juice on it, or some orange juice on the side, or broccoli, or cut up kiwi, or some bell peppers that are roasted. Those all have vitamin C in it. And then of course your protein, you can absolutely get plant-based proteins, from tofu to nuts to seeds to beans and lentils. So a lot of us don't eat those food groups: beans, peas, lentils, and even nuts. So, do eat a wide variety, then you get more amino acids, which will give you a protein. Quinoa has a lot of protein in it, and it's pretty wide, like in terms of quote unquote complete, or as complete as you'll get. Soy and tofu also is a complete protein as well. So there are a couple foods, but do have a wide variety.
Perfect. I can't stop snacking throughout the day. What can I eat for breakfast and or lunch that will keep me full until my next meal?
Me too. I sit at my desk and I want a snack, and I just, so what really helps, protein, fiber, healthy fat. Okay. Those are, you don't have them all together. You don't need them all together, but you can. So like for breakfast this morning, I had, like a fruit and vegetable smoothie. So there was some kale, some, berries. I think I bought it from Costco. Like they have these packs, and I opened a pack. It was 100 calories for the, the fruits or whatever, because I read the back this morning. And then I added to that some kefir. Okay, so I got some probiotics because I just flew out of somewhere. So I was trying to get my probiotics back to the country, but it's always good for health. And then you can put water in there. I put a little tart cherry juice. If you don't want juice, just you could use more kefir. And then what did I do? Oh, protein powder. I'll add the protein powder to help keep me feeling full. A lot of the protein powders may have 25 or 30 and say 2 scoops. I use 1. I don't need so much because I'm getting some from the kefir, or you can use Greek yogurt as well. And then you can use spinach in there if you want to just have more volume in there for some vegetables. So you're getting some more stuff. But the protein will help from both the yogurt, kefir, and the protein powder. Now, nuts have fat, but you only want a 1/4 cup of them. Okay, if you want a snack, so that'll help keep you feeling full. You can do a pear and let's say a cheese stick. The cheese has some protein. The pear has some fiber in it. You could do whole wheat crackers with a piece of cheese. Clearly, I want some cheese right now. Peanut butter on whole wheat crackers. How about that? Or almond butter. So there's a lot that you can do. You just want to get some protein. Avocado, not the whole thing, but you could take a half of avocado for breakfast. I do this. I'll do a piece of whole wheat bread. I like the Dave's Killer bread, 70 calories, the thin slice, because it has just a little bit less calories, but I still get some fiber. The avocado for healthy fat, and it has fiber as well. And then for breakfast, I'll put protein with I'll do an egg, either hard boiled or an easy over with, and that's my, wait. And then everything bagel, everything bagel.
Oh, I'm glad hopefully we'll stay full.
Oh my gosh, I had it for dinner yesterday because I was just off a plane and I had nothing in my house. But that'll keep you full. It has the fiber, the fat. So try it and see.
Right. Killer bread. So I'm with you.
but try it. You'll see. You'll be hungry. It's not going to make you full for 10 hours. It's not supposed to. But 5 hours or so between meals, and if you need a small snack in between, that's the way it goes.
Perfect. And you gave so many great snack options too. So, okay, next we have, what grocery store snacks for weight loss do you recommend for someone who needs food to grab on the go? So you did just need.
Yeah, I did. And something I got a lot of samples of these. There's a lot of drinkable yogurts because yeah, so there's drinkable yogurts of all kind if you really need to grab and go, that's totally there. I'm trying to think what I also do for my daughter on the go. I do I like there's a couple of bars I like I like the barbells, the salty peanut. That's 200 calories. If it's too much, take half. So that's just and that has about, I think, 20 grams of protein in it. So if I have to really go and don't have time, maybe a little too much time between meals, that'll actually do it with if you need a cup of tea with that. But other snacks that you can grab, you can do pistachios, I like, or almonds. Those are some good ones. You can make your own trail mix at home in little baggies, so you portion it out. So you could do some dried fruit, some nuts, a little bit if you need some dark chocolate chips. It's your snack, you're allowed to have that. It's enjoy it too. Always fruits, you can always grab and go with fruits. And there are a lot of snack packs too. What did I just have? Oh, my avocado went bad when I traveled for a week, but I had the little avocado guac cups. The single serve guac, and then that's what I used on my avocado toast. But you can use it with carrots if you want, or you can do some whole grain pretzels or something like that in there, so you can grab and go really easily.
Perfect. I have high cholesterol. What are some tasty things I can make for dinner?
So I actually have a book for folks living with diabetes that actually goes with anyone with it's totally appropriate for someone with high cholesterol. So the guidelines with high cholesterol is low saturated fat, so take off the skin of the chicken, choose lean meats as opposed to a lot of processed meats are very high or high fat meats. Things like full fat, like ice cream, butter, those are things that really should be minimized with high cholesterol. So it's the saturated fat, not the cholesterol, that you want to lower. That lowers your blood cholesterol. And then you want to watch your sodium as well. Weight loss certainly helps. That doesn't mean you have to go down 50 pounds. You will see it, and this happened to me because I've gained weight in my family. I gained like 5 pounds and my cholesterol goes up. Just I have very strong genetics. I have a brother who's actually thin, and since his 20s, he's had high cholesterol. So it runs very strong in my family. And I know a lot of people do. So even a few pound weight loss does help. And even exercising will help raise the healthy cholesterol, but always ask a doctor before starting, and even walking if you're not used to any kind of exercise program.
I struggle with eating and drinking too much sugar. How can I break the addiction?
So remember, there's 2 different types of sugar. We have added sugar. Okay, we have natural, like in a fruit. I don't want you to eat 30 fruits a day. Like that's not recommended, but like we don't eat vegetables. You can find natural sugar in fruits, and that's okay. Now, when it comes to added sugar, think wisely, because the dietary guideline says it doesn't say 0 sugar. So don't be the extreme. We don't have to go. It's not black or white. We're allowed up to, or recommended up to 10% of total calories. So use it wisely. So I always say, to me, plain oats, like oatmeal without anything, it's super healthy food, right? And actually can help lower cholesterol. So you could do overnight oats or whatnot. But the flavor isn't there unless you sweeten it a little. So if you wanted to add, right, your added sugar, like a teaspoon in there, that's one way to do it. You can also use applesauce. I've used in my oatmeal too to sweeten it and get a fruit in there, like a half a cup. So, there's different little tricks that you can do. If you find yourself craving a lot of added sugar, the sweets, my strongest advice is really keeping it out of the house. And like I said, when you really want something like split a dessert at a restaurant or something, when that special time to go out, if you can't control it at this time, because sometimes like I love Oreos, I'll eat a lot of them. So I don't get them, especially the thin ones, right? I'm like, I love these. But I don't have them in the house. So it's not like staring me in the face and saying, hello, eat me. So, that's one technique. The other thing is, make some healthier foods that like maybe satisfy it. So like for me, the Yasso is my sugar craver. You can freeze grapes.
Yes.
And some people really like that. Freeze berries. Some people really like that. Oh, a frozen banana. But like then you first drizzle, like you take, for 4 bananas, you could take an ounce of chocolate, melt it in the microwave, and then sprinkle it with some peanuts if you eat, or whatever nut you like, or just a little. So like that's a healthier treat that you can enjoy. And take if the bananas are really big, take a half a banana.
Okay.
Yeah. You can make ice pops if you like from fresh fruit and yogurt to have some protein in it. So there's many ways that you can do it. You have to find out what your technique is and what your, healthier food is. So.
Awesome. Okay, we are at our last question. I just started intermittent fasting. Any tips and tricks to stay comfortable and committed?
So I'm not a huge advocate in terms of weight loss with intermittent fasting, because it doesn't, and by the way, there's several types, and I'll explain why. So one of them is that you eat only at a 8-hour window a day. And we have to remember that certain nutrients work well when you eat them together and when you separate them out. So to me, you're eating, throughout that period of window, you may not absorb everything properly. So I don't love that. If you're doing it because you tend to eat at night, then maybe, that's an issue that you want to address. Or maybe you're eating at night because, you're not getting enough through the day, or, bored eating, stress eating, whatever it may be. So that's a different issue. There's another type of intermittent fasting where you eat like a quarter of your calories 2 days. So that's your fasting day. But the problem is, if you're exercising and on, let's say, 500 calories based on a 2,000 calorie diet, that's quite dangerous. And that's actually under the National Institutes of Health is minimum of 1,200 calories a day. So that's well under that, and that gets dangerous. And so on a regular basis, especially if you're a person living with diabetes, right, that blood sugar control is actually quite dangerous. So, if you choose to do it, I really would seek some medical supervision. It doesn't teach you healthy habits. That's another another thing. It says like kind of eat what you want through those 8 hours and drink a ton. You know, yes, it advocates fiber, but it doesn't teach you like once you stop, like now what? My issue was eating at night, or now what? I don't really know how to put a healthy meal together. So not my favorite plan, and for those various reasons, and there are many more, but I'll stop with that.
Well, thank you so much. This, as always, when you join us, this was full of such helpful information. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions as well. Toby, please, before we let you go, let us know where everyone can find and follow you online. And you did mention one of your several books, so where can we find those? And
Sure. So my website is tobyamidornutrition.com. I actually have my 11th book coming out this spring. So find me if you look. I have a lot of my cookbooks. Amazon has them, but you can get them through my website. There's a little tab that says books, and you can link to any of them in any bookstore online.
fantastic. Thank you so much again. For those who tuned in at some point and missed some of the questions that we went through, this video will live on Eat This Not That's Facebook page forever as soon as we sign off. So please go back, watch it. It was a great Q&A. Thank you so much again for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.